Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will be playing Delta Green RPG. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Convergence. It was written by John Tynes. It's actually included in the first edition Delta Green rulebook, which they've got a Kickstarter for. They're reprinting it. Our game master is Holly Buteau, and this is episode 1. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Holly?
It is the evening of September 13th, 1993. You each receive a phone call from a familiar number. The voice on the other end asks, "Do you have the time?" And you all know the appropriate response. "I'm sorry, the second hand on my watch is broken." The voice then relays to you, "You have been invited to a night at the opera. You may pick up your ticket tomorrow at 1501 Dowell Springs Boulevard, Knoxville, Tennessee, in room 347. The show starts at 9 a.m. Click. You pull up to the address and you stand in front of the Knoxville FBI building. You make your way to room 347 and are greeted by a middle-aged man in a suit. Stands up. "Gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for being here today. My name is James Derringer, and well, let's just get down to brass tacks. I think video says a lot more than words, and I think you'll be able to see real quick why I brought y'all in." He takes a VHS, puts it into a VCR. What y'all are about to see was taken from a gas station holdup in Alabama 4 days ago. The picture comes to life, and in blurry black and white surveillance, a young man approaches the gas station counter. He is rubbing his arm. He looks unwell. He says something to the attendant, but there is no audio. The attendant stares back at him, shakes his head, shrugs. The young man rolls over as if in pain. The cashier leans over and reaches out to him, and then the young man strikes him on the side of the head, and you can see his skull cave in before it is cleanly removed from his shoulders. The head falls onto the counter. The headless corpse stands for a moment, blood gouting from the neck. The young man reaches out, shocked, clearly on his face, before the cashier's body slumps to the ground. The young man then punches a bunch of numbers on the register, takes all of the bills out, runs off camera. You see him emerge again, handfuls of medicine, bottles and bottles of medicine, and then he runs out the door. You may all make a sanity roll.
Oh yeah, that's a fail.
That's a big fail.
If you fail, just 1 point of sanity damage. Pass, none.
Question. Did he,
Yes.
Could we see where he was getting the medications from? Was he getting over the counter stuff, or was he getting, was there a pharmacy there?
No, this is just a regular gas station. So he was taking like packs of Advil, aspirin, things like that, like painkillers. Yeah.
Okay. My goodness. The strength that it would have taken for him to do what he did to that attendant, the average human wouldn't be able to do that.
This young man held up 6 gas stations and drugstores, first in Tennessee, then in Alabama, and finally in Georgia, before we finally caught him at a roadblock where the state trooper put 4 bullets into him before he went down. And that was only after he bent the sheriff's gun in half.
Jeez.
We still have him next door.
You have his corpse, or?
No.
Him?
He is still alive next door.
Sounds like an angel dust plus, doesn't it? I mean, you hear people in angel dust doing stuff, but not to that extent.
One
How many-
cannot exceed what the human body though is capable of. It's a matter
How
of
many
leverage.
rounds again?
4 bullets. It took 4 bullets
Four.
to take him down.
Jeez.
You
Must
say
be
you
on
have him
something.
next door. Maybe I'm confused. Are we in a hotel?
My apologies. The
Headquarters.
room next door. The office next door.
I see.
We're in FBI office building.
Yes.
How is he being restrained?
We have him heavily sedated and in a harness, and there are guards on him.
When we're through with the briefing, I would like very much to take a look at him.
Yeah, Oliver, I was going to ask if you would give him the once over. We only took him in last night or yesterday afternoon.
Good question.
Were any of the other officers injured? I mean, critically injured.
No. It was just, and the young man's name, Billy Ray Spivey. He is 18, and by all accounts of my interactions with him, he appears to be very scared and startled by the magnitude of his strength.
18?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody else examined him prior to my examination?
No, once we were brought in and I saw what had happened in Alabama, I closed this off, Delta Green eyes only, and I didn't want anyone else looking at him until one of our guys could have a look.
I see.
But that is not the only oddity in Billy Ray Spivey's life. 8 days ago, he vanished from the home of his parents in Groversville and did not return until 2 days later with absolutely no memory of what had happened to him. He was ill and in a great deal of pain. The parents summoned a doctor, but the doctor could not find anything wrong with him, other than the fact that he had a very remarkable appetite, eating anything and everything he could get his hands on, and that the fact that he claimed to be in a great deal of pain. 4 days ago, he went into a fit. His father attempted to restrain him, and Spivey punched his fist straight through his father's chest, killing him instantly. He fled the house, ran down the road, robbed the local gas station in Groversville, took the cashier's car, and then started his robbery spree going down south.
Do you have any idea as to where his location was while he was missing, or is that still?
That is something I'm going to be asking you all to look into. His disappearance is not the only strange thing that is coming out of Groversville. They have been in the news recently, some strange reports. If you could look into that. Your mission is to investigate what is going on in Groversville, investigate Billy Ray Spivey, and figure out what has happened to him. Your cover is that Billy Ray Spivey, having taken a large quantity of angel dust, was possessed of strength that allowed him to accomplish this feat and was on the run from some drug dealers out of Groversville.
Very interesting. I should like there to be at least 2 officers with me. When I examine him, I don't want to lose my head.
A wise decision.
And
I'll certainly go with you.
and sir, this footage that we've seen, this hasn't been modified or doctored in any way.
Absolutely not. And I'd seen the crime scene myself. That is exactly how it happened.
Do you have any toxicology reports available, or when he was
No,
taken in?
not as of yet. There has been no medical examination done on Mr. Spivey.
I'll draw blood. My my first impulse is to imagine that there must be something wrong with the adrenal glands. Something is giving him a tremendous amount of strength. As Agent Orwell said, it could be something drug-related. The missing days are, of course, very important. We're wondering if someone did something to him.
It makes me wonder as if he still has this strength, correct? So he's fairly heavily restrained right now next door.
He is, and he is heavily guarded by armed men and sedated.
Okay.
I have to be very careful because if it's an adrenal thing, that can sometimes overcome the sedation.
There are a lot of tests I would like to run too as well, especially on the blood. Just a few tests, just to see if there's anything changed about it. I mean, there has to be at this point.
Dr. Owen, I believe you're a chemist, yes?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I
Need
spent
to run the complete workup on blood tests. And
spent a few years in India on working for Union Carbine. That didn't end super well, unfortunately.
Well, if there's anything else, or shall we get started?
No, let's get started. I would like to mention that I think it would be wise for you to touch base with local law enforcement. You are all operating under the cover of FBI, and we don't want to step on any toes. The local sheriff by the name of Oakley. And there is a green box about halfway between here and Groversville, so an hour away. And I'll give you the address for that.
All right.
Storage facility, the unit number 47 under the name of Darren Gibson.
Darren Gibson?
Yes.
Okay.
I can check out the sheriff if you want, if you're going to be doing the medical side. I can go and check out the sheriff.
Yeah, see what supplies are there. All right.
Anyone else fancy a ride?
I go with you there, Orwell.
I'll stay here with Dr. Oliver and we'll work on our guest, so to speak.
But I assume that there are officers present, other officers.
Yeah, and I'll be there as well.
It's just you and Darren.
Oh, no, I don't mean here. I mean in the other room with the...
Oh, yes. And they're not read into the situation. The men in the other office are civilian.
What's the young man's name?
Billy Ray.
Billy
Ray Spivey.
Billy Ray.
All right. Well, let's get to it then.
I set off with Oscar and we go and see Sheriff Oakley.
So Oliver, Orson, and Owen are going to examine Billy Ray, and Orwell and Oscar are going to make their way to Groversville, correct?
Correct.
All right. It'll take you about 2 hours east of Knoxville to get there. So we'll start with those examining Billy Ray.
Are you going to go to the green box to make sure see what we
have? Can do. We can swing by on the way or on the way back.
Halfway, yes.
See if there's anything useful.
I would hope that you guys swing by beforehand. I don't know. I don't like the sound of that town. If there's more people running around with superhuman strength, you might need whatever.
Let's hope there are no ones running around with superhuman strength.
That's what I'm hoping.
Agent Olson, might I ask what your expertise is?
Law enforcement.
You're in law enforcement. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you will know how to deal with the other law people. All right. Shall we? All right.
All right. So next door, in the room next door, you will find a young man with long shoulder-length, stringy hair. He wears a Metallica shirt and ripped jeans. And he has a full harness chaining him to the chair, and he's also handcuffed to the table as well. He has a very dazed look on his face. And
Well, so
he
he's
sways.
He's conscious, even
He's
though
conscious, but he's
dazed.
kind of swaying, and he squints at you when you come in. And there are two men near him with rifles.
Hey guys.
And what time of day is it? Morning.
Morning, yes.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Oliver.
Doctor, are you gonna make me feel better, Doc?
And
Everything
we'll
just
see
hurts
what
so
we
bad.
can do. What seems to be the problem?
Everything just hurts. It feels like something's trying to burst out of my skin or something. I don't know, Doc. And I'm so hungry. They won't give me any food neither. Do you have anything I can eat?
We'll get to that soon. Billy Ray, can you tell us what you recall happened in the days that you were not in Grover's Mill?
Oh, the last thing I remember was I was driving home, and my truck had just stopped in the middle of the road. Like, it just came to a stop, and I couldn't get it to start again. And then I heard this.
Where was this exactly?
I was driving from my girl Janie's house, just trying to go back home. And my truck had just stopped. I don't know, Doc. And I thought I saw maybe some weird lights or something. And then when I woke up, I was on my front porch. I went inside. My mama said, "You hadn't been, where you been, Billy Ray?" And I didn't know I'd been anywhere.
I see. Well, let's have a look at you. I'm not going to be able to loosen your restraints. You are aware of what's happened. Yes.
I didn't mean to hurt nobody, mister. I
understand, but you seem to be much stronger than usual.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been real athletic or nothing. And I mean, he is kind of pudgy, so
right.
He's clearly not an athlete.
Well, let's see what might be the problem.
If you don't mind, we're going to run a few tests, draw some blood, and I'm not sure what else.
Do you know how
to look at him? What is his? I mean, is he sweating? Is his skin got any lesions or marks or anything that's visible?
He is sweating, and his skin is he's just pale, kind of grayish, not inhuman, just like it's clearly he doesn't feel well at all.
That's
and Derringer will lean over and say, if you need to take him in for like a proper examination or sedation or anything like that, feel free.
That's what I was asking. What do we have access to in this room?
In this room, not much. It's a meeting room, but they can arrange.
Gotcha.
Can arrange for you to have, if you want to sedate him and like full medical access, that kind of thing. And he is encouraging it.
We'll see what we can do for the moment, and then yes, we might have to do that.
I want to ask him why did you get all the pain? You stole the pain meds because of the pain?
Yeah, everything just hurts so bad. I don't.
Did you take all of them though? That's what I'm curious.
Yeah, I did, and it's like nothing works. Nothing works, and nothing's right. I hadn't gone to the bathroom
tell, like,
in
how
days,
many?
And
really?
Yeah,
that's
days and days. I don't know when the last time I had to go to the bathroom was.
Both number 1 and number 2?
Yeah, I hadn't had to go either.
Well, we might want to transfer you to a medical facility for some more invasive tests.
Is there a high security medical facility somewhere nearby?
Yes. Well, something can be arranged.
Okay. Before we do any of that, I want to see if I can see the wounds that he was shot 4 times.
Mm-hmm. And you will see he was shot here, kind of in his gut, in a leg, and like further down on his calf. And they all are in various. They're healing very quickly,
extremely rapidly.
Yes.
Can I tell even still whether they were like probably dum-dum bullets.
No, this was an attempt to take him down at this point after.
I see.
I didn't expect he was going to get back up.
This is very interesting. We're going to draw some blood. Do you have any objections, Billy Ray?
No, if it'll make me feel better, Doc, it's fine.
That's what we're here to do, son.
So I am going to do the usual things: draw blood. I'm gonna use a tongue depressor, look inside of his mouth,
mm-hmm.
And my dealings with him are going to be quite gentle.
Okay.
But I'm looking very carefully to see if there's anything unusual.
Of course.
His wounds haven't been dressed, have they? They just kind of hauled him in here, expecting him to be dead, right?
They expect him to be dead, and when they saw the state of his healing, it seemed like no one took the time to dress them.
Okay. It doesn't seem like he's trying. I wanted to make a roll to see. He seems fairly like open with us, correct? Or should I roll like?
You can roll to see if he. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
It's a human
intelligence. Yeah.
Yes.
Is human it?
Yes.
No, that's a fail. So.
You think he's being very honest with you and clear.
Okay.
While you all are investigating him, we'll pivot over to those who are going to the green box. The address that Derringer gives you leads you to Mabel's Stow and Go storage, climate control and all.
Righty-ho.
What are you going to do?
I hope you don't mind Glenn Campbell, but it's the only one I've got on my car at the moment. Right, do you want to do the lock-up garage on the way there or on the way back? We go on the way.
Well, let's see what they got in the box. If it's anything useful.
Let's see. Go to the office.
Granted, any sort of artifacts or weird sheets of paper.
Oh, it could be anything in there. Could be absolutely.
Best tread cautiously.
Go to the office, discreetly show the badge, and say it's a manager here, please.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm the manager.
A Damien Gibson, I believe, has lot number 47. We wondered if it would be possible for us to have a look, please.
Looks at your badge. Very well, sir. Slides the key over to you.
Thank you very much. Do you need to escort us at all? Or...
You get the sense that some arrangement has been made.
Okay. Right, let's go and see what this place has for us.
Okay. Inside the storage, you pull up the roll door.
Yeah.
And inside, this is what you'll find. It's a list, so maybe just if something lights on you that you would want to grab, just take that down. You find bags of Quickcrete, 3 gas cans empty, 20-foot extension ladder, shovels, hammers, pickaxes, charcoal, lighter fluid, full bottle of Johnny Walker Black with a handwritten note on it that says, buy a new one before you leave. A pry bar, a well-used SWAT battering ram, 2 5-pound bags of lye, 5-gallon tub of roofing tar, 2 Remington 12-gauge pump-action shotguns, 3 AR-15s, a metal case. You can decide if you want to open it. 6 boxes of 12-gauge buckshot, a package of 6 sticks of TNT that have been taped together with a timing device and a detonator, zip tie handcuffs, a wad of cash, $300, a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook, and a shoebox filled with fortune cookies.
Take some photographs of the scene before we disturb too much. Mm-hmm. The metal box, see if we can get inside that.
Inside you find 4 grenades.
Excellent. He's got a right little arsenal here, isn't he?
Yep.
Building tools, or tools with stuff live only were pretty much good for getting rid of bodies, isn't it?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
$300. Right, we better get this all logged in.
I mean, it's already logged. If we just snag a picture of the log sheet, and we'll
just get a few pictures. I mean, there's nothing here yet.
In case we need to take anything.
Definitely isn't anything we need to take with us, is there really?
Yeah, not right now, at least.
Right, let's go and see Sheriff Oakley and see if he can help us out with Billy Ray. There's Duncan Gibson that the name is in. How's he connected?
You've never heard that name before?
No, just it's not the same link to the same case at the moment or anything like that, but it could be.
Not ringing a bell.
No. Well, we can mention it to the sheriff when we get us to him. Ask him about both.
Okay. So you arrive in Groversville at about 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not a very large town. It's pretty easy to find the sheriff's office. And a very large, rotund man greets you. I'm assuming you go in.
Yeah. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, boys. How can I help you?
Morning.
Again, show me wallet with the ID and everything to let them screw up and who we are.
Yeah. I told y'all. I was told y'all be coming around here.
Thank you. Well, even so, I'll oblige you for your time, Sheriff. I understand you're a busy man. Billy Ray. He's the young guy that's been charged with
a terrible event. Yes.
Do you know Billy Ray or his family? Does he come from good?
This is a small town, sir. Yes, I know most of the residents here. He comes from good folk. Dad's a hardworking man. Mom's a stay-at-home. Took care of everything. Good kid. Never had any trouble with him. Never had a run-in with the law.
What about gangs? Do you have much of a gang problem there?
I heard someone whispering on and on about drugs in Groversville and gangs, and I'm here to tell y'all, ain't nothing of the sort around here.
Yeah, he was trying to get a load of drugs when he was. Also, the other
I was told. I heard that cockamamie story about angel dust, and I ain't never seen nobody knock the head off someone else on angel dust or no other kind of drug. So I don't know what that's all about.
You can pick people up. They give you strength to pick people up and throw them, but haven't heard about that. Caving someone's head in with that sort of strength. But what about is it Damien Gibson?
Ain't nobody around here with that name.
Has a storage down the road.
No, sir, I don't know that name.
It's a shame. I mean, well, if that's the real name, of course. Yeah, he has quite a few weapons in there, explosives, and an art cookbook. But as it's a small town, you probably know everybody.
Here in Groversville.
Well, down the road.
Something like that here in Groversville?
In this lockup.
What lockup?
Green box.
I don't know nothing about a green box, sir. What's that?
Can I subtly kick Agent Orwell in the shin?
No, it's the name connecting it. I'm not going about the actual details. It's just the name. It said it's the local sheriff and he knows everybody in town. So I thought if I dropped the name of the person who the storage is in, he'd probably know who he was.
It's probably a made-up name, honestly.
Probably. I'm not sure if you have to supply ID or not to get the storage.
No. We don't know of any other operators in this area, right?
No. But I was just trying to see if he knew the name, because it's a small community. Yeah. And if he knows Billy Ray, he might have been able to link him to Damien Gibson in some way.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not familiar with that name.
That's fair enough.
Anyway,
I'd appreciate it if y'all don't cause a whole lot of trouble. We already got a grieving community. You know, a mother has lost her husband and her child. It's been a hard few days.
I can understand that, Sheriff.
We're not looking towards stepping on any toes.
Won't be our intent to do such a thing at all.
Yeah. Do you? Are there any more? Is there any more CTV or camera footage from these the other gas stations?
No, the Sinclair Gas, they don't have anything, nothing fancy, but you can look. I'll give you a map of the town. It's on the map. You can go right over there, talk to the clerk who was working there when it all happened.
All right. That'd be useful. Thank you.
And I'll show.
Is there any other information you can think of?
No. Honestly, I'm sure y'all heard everything in the news about Groversville, and I'm not looking to get any more attention on our town for some goofy shit. So I'd appreciate it if you'd just get your investigation. Avoid the circus. I'm sorry, what's that, sir?
Got to avoid the circus.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd appreciate. We've already been in the news for the past couple of months for all the rigmarole going. The news agencies have been having a field day with it. So I'd appreciate it if you just do your business, get in, get out.
Can we have the address of Billy Ray or his family? So
of course, he'll give you those addresses. And he gives you this map of Groversville as well.
Yep.
Pretty standard small town, gas stations, supermarkets, liquor stores. As you're leaving the sheriff's office, you spot a newspaper that someone's just discarded, and the headline definitely catches your eye. It says in all caps, "Aliens touch down in Groversville."
I'll pick it up and peruse the article.
You go there.
How pulpy versus schlocky is it? Would it alter the flavor of fish if it was wrapped in it?
I would read for yourself.
Aliens touch down in Groversville by Brandon Tillman. For the last 2 months, the small town of Groversville has been plagued by the supernatural. This rural farming town is normally a quiet and peaceful place for its 1,200 residents. However, things started taking a strange turn in late July. Residents began seeing UFOs in the sky, Bigfoot wandering their farmlands, and one resident even claims to have seen Elvis having breakfast at the local diner. This photograph, submitted by Mrs. Beulah Gary, is part of the proof that residents have offered to legitimize their claims. We contacted paranormal investigator and UFO expert Samson Walls for his analysis. After looking at the photo for only a few minutes, Walls declared it to be absolute rubbish, a pathetic attempt at doctoring a photograph. Mrs. Gary could not be reached for further comment. Several other media outlets have been contacted by Groversville residents with similar outlandish claims. Is Groversville becoming the next Roswell? Or is this the story of a town trying to drum up additional, additional tourist interest? Whatever the case may be, we know for certain that the truth is out there.
And the small photograph that appears beneath the article is a very poor attempt at doctoring or adding a UFO above a rural landscape.
So we're looking for Billy Ray, we're looking for Damien Gibson and Elvis.
Right. Well,
at least
we know where Billy Ray is, unless he runs off. Elvis might be tough to track down.
Elvis could be Billy Ray.
Who's it? Let's see, Sam.
Or Gibson. If Elvis was involved, this is going to get deep.
Sam Wells this paranormal investigator, if he's local, might be fun to track down and see if he's got some insight.
You can give him a look. I mean, we're going to check out Billy Ray's family. So if he's near, we can go there first or on the way back.
Yeah. All right, let's go check out these gas stations.
Oh, and the newspaper was the Knoxville News.
Okay.
All right, we'll switch back over to those looking at Billy Ray.
So we'll do whatever we can here, but we want to get him transferred to a proper place where he can be completely restrained, but we can still examine him.
I can arrange for a private surgical theater if that's what you want, Oliver. But just let me know.
As long
That
as
would
you
be
can
perfect.
keep him restrained. I don't think that he knows his own strength, and I don't believe, at least from the footage, that he did anything purposefully. I think that something is altering his body chemistry, and he is, just swinging his arms, not realizing the strength that he has. I don't want him to. Let's arrange. We need to do an analysis on the blood before we decide what we can feed him. It also bothers me that he hasn't excreted or urinated.
I turned to one of the guards that have been there. Have you guys given him any water or anything?
Yeah, we've been giving a cup of water, every hour or two.
Okay.
He keeps asking for food, but
No food though?
no, we were told to wait until y'all came and had a look at him.
Good idea.
Billy Ray, what sort of food is your favorite food?
Oh, mushroom pizza.
Pizza. So lots of carbs. Are you have a sweet tooth?
Yeah. I just love chocolate covered pretzels. Oh man,
what
Doc,
sort
I
of-
could just go for about anything right now.
What sort of food have you been eating?
Anything I could get my hands on. My mom complained. She said, "Jesus, Billy Ray, you eat me out of house and home." She said I damn near cleaned out the entire pantry when I came home. I don't really remember much, but
You haven't
Lots
had
of-
any specific cravings?
no, just I'm just hungry, and even the food I don't normally like, it's whatever will make me feel full.
Well, let's get you over to the hospital and we'll take a look. You're going to have to be hungry for a little while longer, but we'll make sure we get you some food. We're going to want to take some x-rays. Did you know if they have an MRI at the hospital here
I was wondering about a CAT scan, if that's possible.
for his brain? Perhaps.
We can arrange for that. Yes.
Okay.
Something's going on here that we want to figure out what it is.
You just have to look
It's
inside.
unusual, but it's not that unusual. It could be drug related. It could be. Do you take drugs, Bobby Ray?
No,
Recreational drugs.
I was all set to work down at the Saturn plant in Smyrna, and they test. So I'd been off I'd smoked a little weed with my friends, but I've been off that for a while so I could get a job.
The Saturn manufacturing plant.
Yes, yes,
Best
sir.
car I ever had was the Saturn. Yes. All right, let's get going. Thank you, Dr. Owen, and Dr. Agent Wilson.
As you leave,
Of course.
Derringer will pull you aside, or the three of you aside, and say, here's my number. Please keep me updated on all progress that you make.
Of course. Put it in my pocket. This is quite strange. So if we're traveling together, I can't then and privately,
Mhm.
so to the hospital. I can't help but wonder. There are some things that are consistent with alien abduction. If you believe in that sort of thing, it could be a psychosis.
Missing time is definitely related to the alien abduction, but I don't.
I'm wondering if we should bring in a psychologist or.
But why would they? If he was abducted and returned with superhuman strength, to what end?
I don't know. He could be. He could
That's
have
all.
been.
That's. You think he escaped, perhaps?
I'm much more inclined to believe that somebody gave him something, perhaps at a party, and it had a bad chemical reaction with him. Maybe he blacked out for a couple of days and then wandered home.
Well, the story of
I really-
the stalled car and lost time is consistent with a lot of Blue Book type stuff.
But everybody knows those stories, so they can just use those as
well, exactly. But not having
Did
a
we ever
memory
figure
of
out-
anything happening to him is, any number of people could have had done something to him in that kind of a lost time with an amnesiac.
Is there any chance we can try and track down his car that broke down? Because did we ever find? Was that?
No,
ever
we can have
found,
one of
or-
the officers go and do that.
That'd be a good idea. Perhaps something there could give us a lead.
Perhaps talking to some of his friends in Groversville, maybe there was a party. His parents wouldn't necessarily know that there was a party. You know how? I mean, how old is Billy Ray?
18.
18.
18, young, healthy male. Hopefully, there's not some funny business going on underground.
And it's Groversville. Grover's Mill.
Groversville.
Ville.
Grover's Mill, wasn't that the one in H.G. Wells' War of the World?
Now that's
That was
going
in
way
New-
back.
That was in New Jersey. It seems if something like that were the case, I'd start to believe that this was all orchestrated in some manner to pull a prank. But there's obviously murders have occurred.
It can't be a prank gone too far.
No,
you saw
no.
that footage. He punched that man's head right off.
That was
No, he's
one-
altered. We got to get that blood tested.
I think yes. There's a lot of tests I want to run on that.
I'm wondering too if his increased metabolism. We better get some food in the boy. I mean, just to keep him stable. Otherwise, he could pass out or
become
die
angry.
if his body is burning the fuel.
But it also makes me wonder what you said earlier. It almost seems like something keeps growing in him. Something wants him to keep eating, right?
Well, and he's
Well,
not
control
he's
that. He
not
doesn't.
voiding anything. So
Is he?
it's
he
all
almost-
going
almost
somewhere.
It reminds me of such like hornets that would attach themselves to like spiders. I saw them in India when
Oh.
I was there back in the 80s. Nasty business, but they're
Parasitic,
parasitic. Yeah. Almost like.
Well, but
I'd hate to
even
imagine
a
that.
parasite, an internal
But that-
parasite, would still excrete.
But that wouldn't explain the rapid healing. And the rapid healing may be another reason why he's burning fuel at that
That's
rate.
true. That's
Perhaps
true.
we're not looking at it correctly. It's less of a parasite and more of a symbiotic relationship.
Or it's just his body. Is he thin? Is he bloated?
She said
He's-
pudgy.
He's kind of pudgy,
He's
not fat,
pudgy.
but kind of pudgy.
Wonder if he was pudgy 8 days ago.
Exactly. Like I'm wondering.
We need to get an X-ray. We need to see what's inside.
Yes.
him.
I agree.
Um,
I think we would want to get that transfer underway.
Yeah.
To any
We'll assume that
securest
that's
medical
going on while
facility we
we're-
can get.
While we're driving.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yes,
guess
you
I don't know
get
if we're there yet.
a private car or your cars into the underground garage or the garage of the hospital, and it's all very hush hush as you're escorted into an office or a surgical theater or an office, whatever. Derringer made it clear whatever you needed to
Right.
observe him, you could have it.
All right. So once he is in there and restrained, I think we should get him something to eat. Perhaps we take.
perhaps not-
I'll run through the cafeteria and get him a sandwich.
We don't want to kill.
Draw
the
some of the
boy.
blood first. Draw some blood first. I don't want it to be tainted.
Well, we already drew the blood. We drew the blood
Okay, we
back
got
over
blood.
at the other
Never
place. We need maybe to get an X-ray first, and then we'll see what.
I guess while you're doing the X-ray, can I start running some tests on the blood
yes,
here
yes,
at the medical
please,
facility?
please do. Do a
perfect. Toxicology. report.
toxicity test. Yeah, toxicology test.
Okay. While you all are doing that, we'll go back to the two agents at the Sinclair gas station, correct? That's where the two of you are headed.
Okay.
As you walk in, you notice that the counter has been like demolished, like it's crumbling, like someone has ruined this countertop.
Like
Have
it's-
they started cleaning up the mess?
Yeah, like it's been, there's no mess on the floor, just the countertop obviously needs to be replaced.
Okay.
There's a very bored teenage girl sitting behind the counter.
Good morning.
Morning. Can I help you something, mister?
Yeah, we're looking into the recent dealings, federal and stuff. Would you mind if we do you have any cameras around, or were either of you here on location during the happening?
Yeah, I was here when Billy Ray came through. Our cameras don't work. We just have them up there to, scare people away from trying to steal nothing, but they don't actually work.
Right.
Do you know Billy Ray?
Yeah, would you mind telling me what happened?
Sure. It was about almost a week ago now. Billy Ray came in. I know Billy Ray. I was like, hey, Billy Ray. And he didn't look good. He was like shaking and sweating real bad. And his arm had like blood all over it. And I was like, Jesus, Billy Ray, what happened to you? And he was like, I need food and I need aspirin, Kelly. And can you give me some food? Can you give me some aspirin? And can you give me some cash? And I was like, I'm not going to give you nothing, Billy Ray. You got some money? And then he got mad at me. He slammed his fist on the table. He's like, damn it, Kelly. I don't feel good. But when he slammed his fist on the table, the whole thing just crumbled. I've been telling Mr. Merle he needs to get this replaced anyway. So maybe that has something to do with it. But it kind of scared me. And
It's unlike Billy Ray to behave like that, isn't it?
no, he's a real nice guy. Janie's his girl. He's never been bad to her.
Has he been hanging around with other people? Maybe people from out of town?
Nah, it's everybody around here is just from around here, mister.
You ever heard of a Mr. Gibson? A D. Gibson?
No, that name don't ring a bell. Anyway, he scared me pretty good when he slammed his hand down and the whole counter just crumbled. So I just gave him the money. Mr. Merle just says, if you think they're in danger, just give him the damn money and let him go. And he took he took all the medicine and he took a whole bunch of food and then he just left.
Has the counter here been cleaned up at all, or?
Well, yeah, I mean,
or is it as is?
I swept up the mess from the floor, but we just hadn't had a chance to replace it. This is exactly how it was.
Okay. So I'm going to look at it. Does it look like just a fist came down and smashed it?
It sure does. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any caught fibers? I'm going to look and see if he pinched his skin and caught some of that in there.
Okay. You can make a search roll.
Search. I just saw it. Yeah, it's a fail. Poop.
No, you don't see anything in particular.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I heard they're saying he was on drugs. Is that true?
Well, we've got some doctors looking at him right now.
What drugs are available around here that the kids use?
And she gets real shifty. She's like,
I'm gonna tell you.
Nobody around here does drugs, mister. No, nothing like that.
Of course they do. We ain't gonna tell anybody, but we just want to know what we're dealing with here.
That's what you're telling her?
Yeah. It's off the record.
That Tom, he grows a little bit of pot. That's about it,
We're
really.
not interested in pot. Pot's the last thing we're interested in.
Nothing new around here.
No, I heard they were saying gangs around here, but
Right.
like looking for guinea pigs, people looking for trying out new stuff.
no, we're all it's pretty quiet around here, to be honest. It's, when we're bored, we drink, we smoke pot. That's about it. They say Billy Ray got into trouble with some gangs, but I'd never seen a gang around here before.
Right. Well,
I'd usually come in with a gang, wouldn't it? You've been great help, miss. Thank you very much.
Do we have lodging or something set up?
You don't have anything set up, but there is only one hotel and motel in town. That's Merle's Shut Eye.
Okay. Because I would like to leave like a phone number or something if they think of anything else. Okay. So here, if either of you think of something else, you can probably reach either me or some of my colleagues at this number.
Okay.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Mister. Before we transition over, where do you want to head to after this?
Probably the next gas station, or was there a convenience store?
Yeah. So the timeline was that he held up the gas station in Groversville and then moved on to south. Like he went down to Alabama. After
okay. So he didn't hit multiple locations in Groversville.
No. He hit a couple of different locations down the way, but only this one in Groversville.
Okay.
Do you want to check them out? See if they got any camera?
Yeah, that might be good.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Got a few more hours of daylight. So.
Okay. Medical team, back to you. You're analyzing his blood work and an X-ray.
Yes.
Okay.
And got him a sandwich.
I'll be doing
a sandwich.
I'll be doing the blood tests first and foremost because I want to see if there's anything in his system or
okay, sure.
If his red blood cell count, his white blood cell count, just everything. So I'll just make my roll, I guess, and
monitoring his vitals. Yeah.
Okay. And do you just want me to make chemistry for that?
It's really more of a biology thing, actually.
Okay. I have.
Well, he's actually looking for chemical compounds that you.
Yeah, I'm looking for stuff in the blood.
Sure. Go ahead.
I just want to see if they're on something or if something's changing them.
Sure.
Uh-oh. Yeah. And that's a normal pass.
Okay. You can tell that something is not quite right. It is not indicative of any kind of drugs that you've ever noticed, like that you've studied before, but something's not right here. The levels are very high. Like
he has a lot of red blood cells, or
yes, like his red blood cell count is very high.
So it's not nothing's. It's his body. It's physically him something in him changing. It's nothing's altering him.
You can't. Yeah, you can't find any evidence of drugs.
I'll quickly relay that to Dr. Oliver.
Excellent. I'll use biology then to look at the biological components, things that are like his healing factor.
Okay. Are you looking at him, like himself? Or?
I'm looking at his blood.
Okay, sure.
I mean, obviously healing is, blood's the thing that heals you. So is there suddenly tremendous amount of healing factor?
Have we put him out yet on a table? Because if there's any possibility, because if we can get him knocked out on like an examination table, I want to take tissue samples and look at that under a microscope at this point. Maybe something.
I think he should still be restrained though when that happens.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I don't want to be in a room with him alone, actually.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
We'll say that you can have him restrained on the table.
How's his heart rate?
His heart is beating very fast.
Extremely
and
fast.
When you touch him, he is very warm.
Very warm. But his breathing, is it normal or is it fast?
It's fast.
How are his pupils? Dilated?
No, those are normal.
Okay, that's a good sign.
All right. Can we do the X-ray and the
Okay.
MRI? See if there's a big gigantic bug living inside of him.
Sure.
Oh no.
All right. That is going to take some time, but
Right.
we will say that time passes. He is grateful for the sandwich and devours it as if he is starving and promptly begs you for more.
I want to see what's going on in his intestines. Is anything?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to have to be a little helpful for a second. MRIs. What can you see on an MRI?
Pretty
Just kind
much
of the inside.
Like, can you
Just
see the bones,
body
the
cavities?
muscles, the like?
You can see like tumors. Like it's
Right.
It's like a
It's-
3D picture.
It's more like, it's more like a picture. Compare, where X-ray you see light and dark, dense
Okay.
densities. On an MRI, you actually are seeing slices of the person.
Okay.
So you can actually see, as you're going through the images, the different structures and things.
It's like a 3D computer print, 3D computer.
I'm not
Got
sure.
it. Yeah. I'm not a doctor, so
we would have. I think
had
we
a
would
vague
have them
idea.
at this point in time.
In the
they're
90s,
probably
yeah.
not.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
they're not super. They're kind of rare at this point.
They're
aren't they?
expensive.
very expensive.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
We'll just bill them.
They put the little girl in The Exorcist into one back in the late
They-
70s. So.
Whoa. Okay, so they've been around longer than I thought.
Oh yeah, but with
They've just gotten better. Yeah.
better and
Fair.
cheaper and
Faster,
more
less noise.
and more
Oh, t-
available. Like it was a rare thing to get them early in the
Nice.
70s.
So I guess, do we need to roll? I guess, what do we want to do? The X-rays, Dr. Oliver.
Want to do everything we can.
of course.
What do we want to do first?
Well, X-ray is the easiest one that we can just
Okay.
do probably in the room on the table.
Mhm.
All right,
But then we've got to schedule him for the MRI. That's probably going to be a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
you're
so I
going to
guess-
probably be here most of the day.
Now, hopefully, whatever it is that's doing this is not ferrous. Otherwise, because those MRIs are gigantic magnets,
Hmm.
Tear the teeth right out of your head with.
You
Okay.
don't have
Right
any
out of your
fillings,
body.
do you?
So you schedule him for the X-ray. Make a medicine roll. See to evaluate
Ooh,
what you
11.
find. Oh, an extreme success. Excellent.
I got a 12.
Something is very wrong with the musculoskeletal part of his body, the way that the muscles connect to the bones in his arms and his legs. You are immediately like red flags pop up. This is not normal.
This is not normal.
Does it
What is
look like his?
going on here?
It looks like his bones have been rearranged, like almost like taken and pieced around, or they're like changing themselves. Like,
Well, certainly it's almost a reconfiguration. This is not medically possible, as far as I know, under our current knowledge of medicine.
nothing looks
Um,
like it's been broken, right?
No. I mean, you can see old injuries, but nothing new.
Okay.
But it's almost as if he's being reconfigured in some manner to make him able to utilize his muscles more efficiently. Are the muscles actually larger than they should be?
Yes. How much can you see? You can see, I know you can see kind of like a ghostly image of muscles on an X-ray, correct?
Right. In this case, it's actually looking for water density. So it's pretty clear. I mean, it looks like a computer model.
Yes,
done.
they're much larger than what you've seen, especially for a boy that like obviously doesn't do any kind of weightlifting or anything like that.
Any additions, like things that we don't know what the hell that is,
Like a bone that shouldn't exist.
Right.
an organ.
This does look like a human, like nothing is sticking out as this does not belong in the body. It all looks like it belongs. It just doesn't look right.
This is crazy. Well, I am at a loss.
I'm not sure what to make of that, Dr. Oliver. What do you think?
Quite honestly, I'm not sure that we're not saying this in front of him either. We're saying it privately to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like this, these kind of genetic alterations, the government's going to want to get a hold of him and study this.
We got a real hot
Think
potato
he's
on
ever
our
going
hands
to have
right
a
here.
normal life again.
Are the wounds visibly different from when we first saw them?
They are continuously healing. They almost look completely healed at this point.
Can I, unfortunately, at the rate he's healing, I want to give him
Dr.
a
Oliver,
quick...
it also seems like this wasn't surgically done. This is some sort of gene therapy almost.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to take a look and see if there's any surgical entry points or anything, any remnants of anything like that left on his body.
Hey, mister, can I get another one of those sandwiches again?
Yes, Billy Ray. We'll order you a pizza. How's that sound?
That'd be so good. Oh, geez. Yeah, Doc, that'd be great.
All right,
Are you guys gonna go get him?
Can we look at like
Yeah.
Well, I want to see like if there's any scars under.
Yeah, I want to see.
Have we like looked under his
scars.
shirt or something?
I look over at Agent Olson. Like, do you think you could handle the pizza? I'll pay for it.
I got it.
So, Orson, as you leave, you're heading out. Something catches your eye because you hear the word Groversville. And you turn and there is a television playing in one of the waiting rooms, and it is like a talk show host. And the audience is laughing it up, and he's saying, "Yeah, I told y'all those folks down in Groversville. I don't know what to say. The Hicks, they got Bigfoot roaming around. They got Elvis. Elvis didn't leave the building, folks. Elvis still right here, right on down in Groversville." And the audience is laughing it up, and he says, Next thing you know, we're going to hear about, oh, gee, what are we going to hear about next, Karen? Loch Ness Monster. They got a lake out there, Loch Ness Monster. I bet they're going to talk about that next. He's like, you know what, folks, let's take a call, folks. And they click on the phone. They're like, who we got on the line? Yeah, this is Miss Beulah Gary. I took a photo. There was a spaceship flying around in my field. I took a photo of it. I submitted it to the newspaper, and I'm telling y'all, they done messed up with the cows. They done took my little nephew. It's crazy out here, and it's a joke. They're all laughing. The talk show hosts are really leaning into it and kind of riffing her on air before they hang up.
But she sounds part of the gag, or she sounds earnest?
I think a human troll.
Right. And that is a fail.
You think? Yeah. She seems so
she
earnest.
Seems earnest. Yeah.
Yes.
She seems serious, and nobody's taking her seriously.
And nobody's taking her seriously. It's a joke. And
anybody else watching that? Anybody else watching the show?
Oh yeah, you see, a couple people that are kind of half-heartedly watching it. Mm-hmm. I heard they had some weird stuff going on in Groversville. I think some crazy folk out there.
Well, obviously these guys are just listing it all, but what's this based on?
Are you talking to them?
Yeah, I'm talking to the other people.
Oh shoot, I don't know.
What else? What really happened out there?
I don't know. These reports started coming in like 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago now. And it's all been people calling in saying the craziest stuff. Bigfoot, Elvis, cows going missing, all the goofy stuff you see on TV all the time. I don't know what's gotten into those folk over there. They're just acting weird.
So it's not just somebody pulling a fast one on the local.
I think they're just trying to do it to get some tourist dollars or something, maybe trying to start a little industry over there. But it's just weird. Folks are weird. Country folk are weird.
Uh-huh. And I head down looking for pizza.
Okay. So we'll finish up with the MRI. Or no, you wanted to do an examination of him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we want to see if there's any scars, as if surgery's been performed on him.
Okay. Medical. I'll also allow forensics. Owen, I know that you don't necessarily have medical.
Medical, I got 48, which is I've got 80, so it's a 48.
Okay.
Pass.
You almost don't see it, but across his arms and legs, teeny tiny little cuts all up and down his arms and legs. Very microscopic, teeny tiny little cuts.
I'm going to see if it's possible to get do I have anything to take photographs with?
I have a camera actually in my inventory.
All right.
I could be taking pictures this whole time. I actually did want to take pictures of his wounds as they were healing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use a magnification lens and see if we can get some close-ups. See this area here? This whiteness to the skin. I think these are small incisions that have been made.
Yeah. I'd love to, if we can get some bone marrow samples from these little regions. I think that would help our investigation fully.
That's it's a really invasive procedure. We'll see what we can do. We're going to have to find a way to. How is the pain, Billy Ray? Is it still bad?
He's been, moaning off and on about it. So it hasn't, abated.
Let me see if I can give you something that will keep you livid, but not in any pain.
I'm not sure what, if anything, we have can help him. I mean, you saw the camera. He took all those painkillers and said he ate them all.
This was just over the counter. So I have much stronger stuff, Tylenol.
Didn't he break? Didn't he break into the pharmacy? I thought that was.
No.
That was the gas station.
Oh, just the gas station. Okay.
I could give him morphine, but I'm not going to give him morphine. I'm going to give him something safer.
Are the small cuts like a series of parallel cuts, or are they in a line?
They seem to be precise, like exactly where they've been placed is very precise along certain, parts where the muscle connects to the bone and things like that. Like Oliver definitely
corresponding to the things that we saw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been surgically altered. All right. So I'm going to give him something to alleviate the pain.
Okay.
It'll make him a little bit loopy.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he does.
happy.
His speech starts slurring a little bit, and things like that feels real good.
All right. I guess we're gonna take some sample because I do want to get muscle tissue samples and then definitely some bone sample. Okay. Mostly the bone sample. I guess I think I would leave that to Doc Oliver. I'm more of a chemist. I just want to test these things.
Sure.
I'll get all these samples being as least obtrusive as possible. And
okay. When you observe the muscle tissue under microscope, all that. This is not human muscle tissue. It is a very close amalgamation to human muscle tissue, but the color's wrong. the density is wrong. None of this is quite right to you. This is not human muscle.
Can I roll? I have both science, zoology, and botany. Can I?
Okay. You want to see if this is like some kind of animal tissue?
I'm wondering if it's animal tissue or
Okay.
even if it's not even animal. Like, what if it might be plant tissue?
Sure. Go ahead.
33. That is a success.
Oh, it's an extreme success. 33. This is biological, and you look at it more, and you're like, you have botany, almost fungal, maybe. What? Is very confusing. Doesn't make much sense.
Dr.
It's
Oliver,
not. It is not. Obviously, you're not seeing like little mushrooms crop up on his muscles, but it's like the structure of the muscle tissue.
The filaments.
Reminds you,
fungal.
of something that's almost fungal.
Dr. Oliver, this appears to be fungal in nature. His tissue it seems to be being replaced by some sort of fungal organism.
I'm
it's almost
you
like
can both make sanity rolls because this is impossible.
That's a little scary.
Pass.
Okay. Take one.
Okay, I passed as well.
Okay.
I'm thinking now that we need.
I'm wondering. This makes me worried. Should we be breathing the oxygen around him right now? Do we want to go get some...
doing that for a while now?
Yeah, I don't know if this. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm worried. I'm thinking when I think fungus, I think spores and.
Well, we don't have any evidence that these things are internal, and I think that he's been not infected but altered. I'm wondering if there's any kind of a scientific research facility anywhere nearby that's been conducting a legal secret.
I mean, you heard the story. He was just in his car. You think they're just abducting people out of their cars and then returning them to their front doorstep?
It's strange if we find another one like him.
I did not mention this, but it's fairly minor. Derringer does ask for samples for like other analysis as well. I apologize, I did not mention that. But
who's Derringer?
Okay. Derringer's the man that brought you
our handler.
This.
Our handler.
Yeah, your handler. He's asking send us samples as well.
Well,
he wants his primary concern is what's going on in Groversville. So he wants you all he asked for you all to examine Billy Ray, get the samples, do whatever you needed to do, and then go see what was going on in Groversville. So,
do we have a means of contacting the handler?
Yes, he gave you his number.
All right. I think that what we need to do, considering the bizarrity of this situation, we'll send the samples on to A-Cell, but I think we need to send Billy Ray on to A-Cell. I think he needs to be
contact Derringer and get him isolated.
I don't think there's
Billy
anything
Ray.
we can do for him right now.
No, we'll get him a pizza and keep him sedated, but he may still be becoming something.
Exactly.
And we can't let this happen in a public facility.
If he's still wanting to consume as much as he is, something's definitely, he's not done. He's metamorphosing into something different.
Yes.
And to be honest, Doc, I don't really want to be around here when he does.
Well, I kind of want to see what happens, but at the same time, I think we need to get him, for the sake of our organization, getting him out of the public eye.
Exactly.
It's extremely important.
So,
nobody's supposed to know that anything weird's going on.
Oh, exactly. So are we going to call our Agent Derringer, or are we just going to wait for Agent Orson to get back with the pizza?
We'll say Orson's come back.
Yeah,
got the pizza.
We'll let him have some pizza.
Okay.
Don't let him choke on it. He tends to eat too fast, and he's a little He's a little loopy right now. But we'll get whoever has a phone, or if we have a way of doing a coded phone call.
Mm-hmm. You do. You know all the ways to contact.
Right. We'll contact them and give them an appraisal of the situation.
Okay. So we will pivot back over to Orwell and Oscar. So what are the two of you going to do?
What you're in, Oscar? Do you want to go and check out the other gas station?
Yep, next location.
Might have some film footage. No matter actually have numbers as well. Yeah, gas station.
Okay, it's going to take you a few hours to get down there, but it's a gas station on the border of Tennessee and Alabama. How are you approaching it?
Probably the same as the other one.
Yeah, see how it goes. See if we can just get away with waving our badges around. And see what we can get without getting into warrant land.
Okay. You see
writing in notepads the entire time.
Of course. Yeah. You see an older gentleman behind the counter. His name tag says Ron.
Hi, Ron.
He just kind of nods at you, assuming you're just customer gentlemen.
Howdy. We're looking into the happenings a couple nights ago.
Oh yeah, that was a shock. Poor Lionel. Hardworking man. That's a real shame. His wife, his kids.
Is this the gas station that we saw the footage from?
Footage. This is where the footage was. Yes.
Okay. What's been cleaned up on the scene just from preliminary inspection?
So this happened 4 days ago. The body's not there anymore. They've cleaned up the mess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's no property damage?
No, you see the cash register is dented in because you saw that he hit a bunch of buttons and it's clearly dented in.
Yeah. I guess same kind of inspection on the cash register. And did he?
The film footage.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Make a search or forensics. Either one, I think would work.
Ooh. Right. That's 100.
Oh no.
My eyes fall out.
The house is falling down.
No, any evidence that could have been collected is now you've bungled it, and there's nothing you're able to get from this.
It's conveniently on the Swiffer duster in the dumpster. Well,
I can't see any other leads or anything coming from this.
Yeah.
We've seen the film footage from here. Yep. He didn't hit anywhere else, did he?
A couple more. This is aside from his father and this gas station, there were no other deaths. The rest of them was just he was holding them up.
Yeah, so I'll just talk to the attendant. Well, do you know anything about the situation that
it's quite
I did. The FBI came around here a couple of days ago asking questions too. I wasn't here that night, but Joanne was. She was working the back. So according to her, I'll just tell you what I told them. She said that the young man came in. She thought he was on drugs. He was like scratching himself and like he had the shakes or something. So she went out she went to go handle stuff in the cooler. She didn't want to deal with all that. We get all kinds around here. And then she heard him shout something about pain medicine and money. And then when she poked her head back out, she saw that, Lionel was just, Jesus, his head was on the counter. I don't even know how you do that. And the kid run off.
Right. Is she working or is she taking time off?
No, she had to take a day. She had to take a couple days.
All right. That makes sense. So he was shouting about pain medications and money.
Yeah, he just said, he was in pain. He was hungry. Give me your money. I thought it was kind of what a stupid thing to kill someone over, And Lionel would have given him the money. He just, he was a little slow. It took him a minute to process things, and I guess the kid didn't have any patience.
Well, that's very unfortunate. And I'll leave behind the same number.
Sure.
Well, if you or the unfortunate miss thinks of anything, you can contact us at this number.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
I think Billy Ray's parents or the house is the only thing we got to check.
Yeah.
I think that maybe in his bedroom we might find some clues. I don't think he was a diary type.
Yeah. Well, let's start heading back there, or at least where do you think we should? What town do you think we should bunk in?
Well, after we've done Billy Ray,
or where we've got all the facilities. I'll call him up and see.
Yeah, give him a call back to see if there's any updates or something.
I'm sorry, who are you calling?
I'll call the handler.
Okay. Yeah, do y'all learn anything?
Well, we hit up the sheriff, hit up the first and second locations. Didn't learn anything new there. We're heading back. Do you have a preference for where we're staying at?
I'd like you to stay close. I know they got a little motel down in Groversville.
All right. Yeah, that'll work. We can do that.
We're staying put here, are we?
Yeah, we'll stay in Groversville. Have you heard back from the other half of the team?
I heard litany of tests last I heard. They gave me a call not long ago, so they had some samples, some strange things for us to look at. So.
We get some rooms booked for them as well. So
really strange things.
They got somewhere to stay.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, you can give me at this number if you need anything. Right. Yep.
All right.
All right.
Hotel rooms.
Okay. You'll head to the motel.
Yep. Podunk Hotel it is.
Merle's
a room for everybody. So when they turn up, they've got somewhere to stay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. There's plenty of room. It's not a tourist hotspot or anything like that.
Is it a hotel or a motel?
It's a motel.
Motel. Ooh. All right.
As you're pulling into the motel parking lot, you see a large van that has the name Phenomenex UFO Explorers, like on the side of the van.
Do you reckon, perhaps they're after Elvis?
It might be. Well, if need be, we either have some fun suspects there, or
they're just going to get in the way.
Yeah, perhaps a convenient patsy.
They always get in the way. So we always get in the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see if I can strike up a conversation with them.
You just see their van, like it's just parked in the motel parking lot. You don't actually see anybody there.
Ooh, I don't know. Do we want to play up the whole Men in Black routine for them?
Sure. They might get kicked out of it.
A little too on the nose, though.
They usually enjoy it. It gives the conspiracy theories.
Right. Yeah,
something to talk about, doesn't it?
Nah, probably a bunch of people just out of high school doing who knows what. All right, let's. How many is it? Five rooms? Doing separate rooms here?
Yeah.
There's enough. There's it's a 12-room motel. So.
All right. We'll try that.
Okay. Medical crew, you've contacted your handler. Is there anything else you want to do with Billy Ray?
I mean, other than just get our pictures that we needed, and then secure. I'd also want to secure hair samples.
Okay.
As well. I mean, we have the blood.
We've taken every
battery.
Every sample.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I collect our samples, kind of put them in with our stuff, and then I think we can. I don't know if there's anything else. There's no tests I wanted to run.
We want to make sure that the police officers assigned here make sure that nobody disturbs him. We don't want a van full of crazy people coming in here. He's arrested for murder, I'm sure, at this point.
Well, I'm worried about how we getting him out of here if he's arrested.
Well, Delta Green will send a collection.
Okay.
Is that what the handler said?
Yeah, they're going to send a team to pick him up.
They're going to pick him up. And so we tell the local police that we need that the boy might have some sort of an infection, and that we need to isolate him, and that the hospital here is not sufficient. So we're sending a team. The FBI is sending some people to take him, probably to Washington. I'm just making this shit up.
Sure, of course. Oh, and they're just
we have to get it back to the Center of Disease Control.
Yes, that's
over
in
in Atlanta. What? Yeah, Atlanta, Washington.
So expect them within 2 hours, maybe.
Oh, and they will for sure. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then we'll head for
Groversville.
I guess.
I hope they didn't pick some seedy motel.
We got them to pick up everything from the green box, so we don't need to stop by there, correct?
Well, they went to it. Yeah, they can tell us if there's anything that we need. All right.
I think we should call them to let them know what we've. I mean, because who has a phone? Because I don't.
Do they have phones? I don't think they have phones. Oh, I think Agent Oscar has a phone.
So we'll use a payphone and call the super fancy car phone that I'm sure he has put the jack into the lighter tab of the car.
This is 93. Surely they have like flip phones or something.
No, I think
they're there yet. Cell phones definitely exist. I just don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, I've got a proto Nokia brick.
Yes,
it'll
last though. You can drop that baby; it's not going to go anywhere.
My pistol.
But that's not something you'd carry around. It's in your car, correct?
Yeah, I thought it was like the phone on the dash of a car, like he's in some.
Oh no, I have end quote a cellular phone.
Ooh.
They did exist back then.
That's how you know I'm a computers guy.
Is there a cellular tower anywhere within 1,000 miles?
You have reception.
Well, allegedly, I just made a phone call.
Yes. That is
a satellite phone. A satellite
Agent
phone.
Oscar did just make a phone call.
Yeah.
True. I would want to call them and just let them know, hey, all the forensics we just did. Inform them about the.
Well, don't talk about that over the phone. We'll tell them that in person when we get to them. Just ask them where we're going to stay.
Oh, I guess we could just call them. So I guess we'll call them and just ask, just to check in where they are, and if we're meeting.
Agent Oscar, you're getting a phone call.
Oscar.
Hey, this is Dr. Owen. So we're still on for tonight for the Rager at where we stand in Groversville.
Yeah, we're in Greensville.
Greensville.
Yep.
I thought you were in Groversville.
Groversville, Greensville.
KFC.
You've seen the amount of trees out here, right? It is green.
True. Yeah, but we finished our tests with Billy Ray, and we're ready to bring you our findings, and
all right,
they are quite peculiar indeed. But we won't discuss that here.
All right. Yeah, we got rooms for everyone here. So.
Toby Melvis might be involved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Orwell on? Was that Orwell in the back?
That's Orwell.
Oh, cool. Elvis. Elvis.
We had a laugh
Still-
we had a laugh about a newspaper article. Some about Elvis.
That's funny.
Well, we'll be down there in about an hour or two, so don't get
All
too
right.
comfortable.
Don't hurry. There's nothing here.
All right.
Well-
Take care. Bye.
So we
I hung
will
up on
say that you all gather at Merle's Shut-Eye. It is about 8:00 in the evening at this point.
Listen,
You're all
I've got
very
a
tired. It's
splitting
been a long
headache
day.
because Dr. Owen listened to disco music the entire way.
Oh,
Hey,
dear.
it's
Oh,
coming back. I'm telling you. I don't know.
I'll be Glenn Campbell.
Dr. Oliver is just a hater. That was the good stuff.
Yeah, I recommend Glenn Campbell. He can
So
shred.
once we're all there, we inform them of everything that
Of course.
happened.
We couldn't find anything. But from what you said, it's some sort of infection, like a fungi.
Not
Well,
like an infection, more like actually
Like he's
like a transmogrification almost.
right.
Like
Somebody has gone in there and surgically altered the boy.
Genetic.
If it's affected an area, do you think it's more likely food or water source?
no, I imagine from what I've been able to piece together from corroborating Billy's story and the forensics we've run, something took him and surgically changed him. We inspected his arms and legs, and he did have incisions, almost surgical, microscopic, almost missable incisions.
We are going with that term, surgical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say his
There's no other way.
I'd say his entire musculature had to have been removed and replaced with some sort of fungus that mimics the muscles.
Was this all throughout the body or just load bearing?
Everywhere we could
His
find.
the X-ray showed his entire skeletal system has
So
been
something's taken
rearranging.
them apart and given us a new improved version.
Exactly.
As far as I would say, as of
I
right
think
now, Billy Ray is no longer human.
Right.
And that on top of TV and you guys talking about Elvis, there have been
I mean,
all sorts of UFO sightings and cow mutilations and stuff in Groversville for the last few months. So I think it's going to be worthwhile to check out The Girlfriend.
It's like every cliche in the book has happened in this town.
Well, but some of that's going to be just people painting stories, right? I mean, the
Well,
big
yeah,
cities
but-
making fun, but it
Well,
started
we-
with something
I
local.
think
When you're looking at what they all seem to be getting involved with, it's always the same old classic stuff, isn't it? And
well, I'm wondering if those are all very carefully designed red herrings. After all, our primary mission is to keep this information out of the public eye. By spreading all of these nonsensical rumors, if anything true does come up, like Mushroom Boy, nobody will believe it. It'll just be washed away with the rest of the nonsense.
yeah, that's
is he going to be signed away and tested? Poor kid.
Absolutely, yes. And I hate to say it, but probably vivisected. He's a very nice boy. I feel sorry, but this
Well,
could be
but-
world-threatening. We don't know what's going on.
But seeing if anybody else is actually affected in a similar, or I mean, I think we need to be looking for other people with those same surgical marks.
well.
You two have made contact with his mother, correct?
No, we're saving that one for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What,
We checked
have you made any?
We checked this up
Just
before.
preliminary.
It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody else, but there doesn't seem to be any strangers hanging around town or anything. So
Have you been able to track down his friends or his girlfriend, like Orson mentioned?
Not as of yet.
Because that's where he was, wasn't it? He was hanging out with friends when he. Well, he says he was driving home, but
Is that what he said? But,
Yeah,
He did say
wondering-
that.
so.
He did say he was visiting his girlfriend.
Yeah,
wondering
the girl
if
at
we-
the gas station knew him, but she didn't know him that well, I don't think.
once we once we know the spot where his car stalled, I would like to take a look at the surrounding area.
Has anyone found his car?
That's what I asked. I didn't know.
You didn't ask the sheriff. You don't know.
Right, he said he was traveling from his girlfriend to his home. So somebody must have.
He returned. He remembers returning home without his car the next morning.
2 days.
Yeah.
He was right on the doorstep. That's the last thing.
Yeah. He remembered waking up on his front porch, which isn't to say that the car wasn't there.
That might give us a clue on how the car was at least stalled or impaired or however.
Good question for Mom.
It also means
give us a hint at who, what, when, where, how is behind this.
I'm wondering if there's any evidence there that could help us.
Did you guys check? Did you guys check more tissue aside from the muscle? Were organs replaced or anything?
We did a complete.
We took all the samples we need for Derringer.
Okay.
His metabolism was extremely high. He didn't seem to have any need to urinate or defecate. But I didn't see any evidence of an impaction. Did I?
No.
Okay.
We were quite shocked. He seemed rather normal, except for a heightened bloodstream and healing factor, until we got to the muscles, and then we realized that they weren't normal tissue. Fungus.
It's just the muscle tissue that was changed,
as far as we could
just
see.
The bones were changing in the process.
We realized at that point that we needed to get him to a DG facility, so that because we couldn't have the press discovering him, we made sure that all of the records that we took were falsified for the normal doctors if they ever took a look at them.
As far as they know, he was ODing on angel dust.
On angel dust.
Angel dust. Do you have is that what we're going with?
Angel dust and PCP? Yeah.
People think that it creates a heightened strength, and we're going to go with that. It's enough to make people just disregard it.
At the locations we looked at, I didn't see any left behind tissue or anything. So
I suppose we could also say that, well, if you hit the head just in the right spot and get just the right angle, and you could theoretically knock somebody's head off, but it's rare and almost never heard of.
So we're mostly good on the cover up part. We just need to figure out and make sure this doesn't happen again.
We can check his house just see if he had any form of diarrhea or anything like that at home.
I think most likely it's going to be something that took place between 8 days ago and 6 days ago.
Yeah.
But if he's got friends.
So I guess what have you two uncovered on your adventure to this little podunk town?
Well,
no, I don't want to live here. That's all.
Yeah, the sheriff's of the belief that there are, in fact, no drugs or no drug runner groups, smugglers, dealers around here.
That means he's probably one of them.
I think that just means they're
but that was
doing
also
a pretty good job.
That was also corroborated by the 2 young gas station attendants in town here. If we want to do a marijuana sting operation, then we're golden for that. But
you're getting the finance.
Perhaps for a cover up, we can keep that on the back maybe. For. If we
outside of that, no tissue left behind at the smashed register that we saw on the cameras. Nothing left behind aside from a smashed countertop at the local gas station here.
Was there anything useful in the green box?
Yeah, I wanted to know.
A lot. Well, if we want to wage a single man war or 5-man war,
we'll get rid of a little
whatever
body.
the hell we want. We're golden.
Or get rid of a body. Good. They've got all that.
Yeah, there's what, five long guns in there.
Dynamite, grenades,
Explosive devices.
concrete,
Yep.
tar, liar.
Charcoal, ladder fluid. We could have a hell of a camp out, I tell you.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a hell of a 4th of July.
Actually, I wrote down the itinerary there.
Any limb loppers? No. Well,
Nothing that stands out.
it's a little tricky to remove somebody's head, but I suppose with the right knife, I could do it.
You could say, we could more or less say he used some sort of blade or something like that to knock the head off.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just pass
I
away.
think we
Well, I
just
mean,
go
it's-
with the PVC and.
I was
angel
referring
dust.
to all of you. If I have to
Oh, if we
remove
need
your
to cut
hands,
someone's
head,
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah. We are in the business.
Well, hope it doesn't come to that.
Huh.
So I
I
think
can assure you that if I have to put you down, it'll be painless. And,
I
Well, that's
think
good.
we our priority.
And that is
should be
exactly
to find-
why we went with separate rooms.
Do we want to find the car first, or visit his house and his? mother?
Let's see if we can find the car at the location. So
What
the
time is
father
it now?
The father's
um,
deceased.
8 p.m.
They're local. Is there a
Past
local?
that, you've all
board?
been talking. It's probably going on about 9 now.
Yeah, especially with all the data sharing.
People don't like you knocking on the door this time of night, do I? So,
I th-
my
do we want to
first.
head? We don't want to head out now, do we?
No, it's too late.
Yeah.
My
You-
guess is
they do overtime anyway.
everybody in this town knows everybody. And if somebody saw Billy Ray's car, they would have probably just taken it to his house. So we can probably check that tomorrow.
Yeah.
First thing. And then we might go looking for it.
which
At least take a
also
road away.
begs the question for tomorrow when we go for breakfast or whatever around town. We're 5 federal agents looking around, and we've got the UFO fan club here as well.
To see where a UFO fan club.
Do we want to be? Do we want to be that conspicuous though?
Well, we are under the auspices of federal investigation, and we do have reasonable medical documentation.
Did
explaining
This
how
is a major car.
our,
There's no surprise.
our young individual was under the effects of controlled substances. I don't think that's too far out of left field there.
Was
The
So I
local
guess-
community might like seeing people of official nature around after the disaster. It feels
Was there
like
any-
something's back under control again.
Was there any federal violation?
Stick to the party line.
So we'll just say we're a part of the DEA, right?
Well,
Probably not
FBI,
the
because
FBI.
he
Yeah.
crossed state
Ah,
line.
he did. He
To-
did.
Did he,
yeah.
did he
Commit
cross
murder.
state lines? Yes. then
Yeah,
that's
he was
what
in
I'm-
Georgia. He was multiple
it's
states
federal.
were involved, so it's
Yeah.
perfectly natural for us to be around asking questions. My concern,
Well, I mean, and Oscar was sent along in the first place is because of that, the interstate line.
I was
stuff.
just thinking about why
You're-
2 doctors
you're
would be
saying,
palling
Orson?
around with you guys.
Well, forensic and chemist were
Yeah.
just part of your team. We're part of your team.
Yeah.
Agent Oscar and Agent Orson and Agent Orwell. You're really the ones in charge. We're just
right,
assisting.
right. Because I love looking official.
yeah,
You were saying, Orson?
no, again, I'm a little concerned with the UFO crowd because I think some of our questions are going to end up there, right?
Well, don't let any of that. I mean,
Yeah, just
for
gotta.
anyone on the outside, it's just I'm sorry, we're not at liberty to discuss that. And
And-
just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stick to the party line. Drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also here kind of.
Say it's a weed farm. Weed farm doesn't sound as threatening as like angel dust or something like that.
No, but it's
Probably
also
easy.
typical of small
Consistent.
towns to be saying that they
these-
don't have a problem either.
Oh, no, none of them have a drug problem, do they?
Of course not.
I'd say the best course of action is to say nothing at all. Simply let them
Yeah.
make up their own red herrings.
Yeah.
Nothing at all unless they ask. Then lie.
Of course,
You,
we don't want to do anything that traces us back. So
Right. You medical types might want to look at the father's cadaver, see if there's anything there.
you think we can look? I think they just killed him. He punched his right through his chest, apparently.
Right.
Oh, well,
But it might, if it's some sort of disease type, well, it wouldn't be a disease type thing. It's cool because it looks like it's been operated on.
It wasn't infectious when we.
So
when I
so far the
analyzed it.
only people that know he's been operated on are in this room.
I mean, actually, I did want to ask. It did appear to die when we cut it out of him, right? The tissue.
Yes.
Okay.
Samples.
Good.
Yeah.
My
That was one thing I was like, wait a minute, where's that sample then?
thoughts went to the thing. I thought
Exactly.
I don't need that at all.
The samples will be collected by TG. I think we need to figure out who abducted him.
Yeah.
So if we get to the place where he was abducted, if we can figure that out, I am far more inclined to believe that there is some scientist or scientific group that is abducting and then doing medical experiments. It's odd, though, that they returned him on the 2 days later. That's very odd. 2 days.
that's a long time.
And he's not under any observation. If he'd done something like that to somebody, you'd put him under observation to see how it affected him, wouldn't you?
It would seem that they altered him and then dropped him back here. I mean, they did this kind of impossible surgery in just a mere 2 days and dropped him back healed. And maybe we're observing to see what he would do.
Well,
maybe people in
We
this
can't
town
we can't
involved.
tell if he's being observed now, can we?
Well, unless he's being observed.
You weren't
by people.
followed at all, right?
No.
Do you think
Between
it's
the
I mean, even if we were, they know we're doing an investigation on Billy Ray.
Oh, if we've been called in, it's serious. Because if it was just, somebody got abducted by a UFO, it takes a while before we get involved. The fact that we've been sent here, there must be something serious.
So let's start with his family's house and looking for the car, and then proceed from there over to the girlfriend Janie's, because he was doing that run when he disappeared.
Right.
Yeah.
See if there's any evidence along the road. If there's a place where I assume that there are fields or groves of trees or something along the way. See if there's anything that's been flattened.
What about
Very wooded area.
High school records, do you reckon they're worth checking? Maybe finding out who he's hanging around with?
I don't know.
you might be able to find that out from either the mother or the girlfriend, or hell, even maybe the gas station attendants.
Find out who his friends are and where they live. It might help us find the route he was taking when his car stopped.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, he was heading back with girlfriends. Yeah.
Definitely girlfriends, was it?
Yeah.
We might also check out Beulah Gary and her cow mutilations.
There have been cow mutilations now?
Well, according to the
Allegedly.
T and V.
Well, I don't know how that.
Well, Elvis is involved. There's going to be cow mutilations, isn't there?
Banana and peanut butter mutilations, yeah.
Man, you should have ordered 2 pizzas. What the heck?
Wonder if them weirdos from Vegas has been running around making people think Elvis has returned.
Vegas.
We are, so I'm worried about what if it actually is. What if it is Elvis? How are we going to cover that up?
I think we're living in an area where everybody
enough.
wants a little attention. And
that's why we have the cement and tar.
Yeah.
It's always a serious investigation once Elvis gets mentioned. Because you've got the diehard, you get the diehards involved in now, yeah. The ones that go for the Elvis, they're the diehard believers.
Right. So we all know that that Cell M discovered Sasquatch, and he's living in a small apartment in Los Angeles.
All right,
I'm joking.
We know.
So, are you doing anything tonight?
No, I'm going to get drunk and go to sleep.
All right, very well.
Is there any sort of internet access?
Yes, you do actually have internet access in the motel. You do.
All right.
It's called a
wiring into that with
the phone line.
Fancy laptop.
Yeah, you're on dial-up.
Anyone trying to call Oscar's room hears that from the other end.
I'm going to get my Glenn Campbell playlist on dial-up.
Well, right. if you have that, can I suggest that you see if you can find any abductions in the area that have taken place in the recent
abductions,
missing persons reports,
maybe laboratories
impound reports, car impound reports.
The Knoxville
car impound reports do it.
The Knoxville paper might have recent enough articles still available, like a clipping service or something.
Scientific research facilities.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 hours.
Okay.
On dial-up, you bet.
Yeah, it's going to take you a long time. Anyone else doing anything this evening?
Dr. Oliver, there's no tests you want to assist me on. I don't think there's anything more we can do.
Yeah. I see a Denny's down the road.
Denny's?
I think there was.
Agent Oscar, do you want us to bring you something back? A hamburger? Their fries are pretty good.
Denny's is quite good for that.
Whatever sort of calorie pile sounds good. That's fine. Right. Fine by me.
Bring you some cherry pops.
Okay.
Give them a salty.
Agent
one of those
Oscar,
pie shakes.
Will you make me a roll for? I don't remember the exactness. Computer science, right? Will you make me a roll for
something like that? Yeah. Let's see. Find exactly the stat. Oh, there we go. If only this was called Cthulhu. That was a success.
Okay.
Not a critical success.
So you find a lot of stories that seem to all reflect the same very heightened hysteria and silliness. You find some news reports of a lot of the same. Mr. John Smith calls in because he saw Elvis at the local Denny's. Mrs. Jane Carey swears she saw Bigfoot wandering the backyard. Miss Beulah Gary sends in multiple photographs of UFOs flying over her field. And then you find several UFO expert sites that are clearly pointing out how all this is fake. Like, look at this, the shadows here. Look, this is obviously doctored photographs, and they're writing off Groversville. Like, don't even bother going there. It's not worth your time. UFO enthusiasts, this is all a lie, et cetera, et cetera. One thing you will notice, if you said you were going to look through like some of the stuff about the town as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, looking for labs in the region, car impoundment records, missing persons.
You do see that there is a missing persons report on a little boy named Corey Johnson, and he was reported missing 5 days ago. He's about 8 years old. Doesn't seem to have been resolved. And the other thing you notice is that all of these wild accounts do not seem like the names of the people accounting for them do not seem to match the names of any citizens living in Groversville. Beulah Gary, Jane Carey, none of these people exist in Groversville.
So
is it all the same author?
No, it's multiple news sites, like different, the Knoxville paper, all the like large city papers have kind of reported these goofy happenings. The UFO experts have reported, and there's a couple of different names. None of them match any name in Groversville.
And just a quick note, what was the name of the missing boy?
Corey Johnson.
Did he go missing about the same time as the other incidents happened?
About 5
days ago. About 5 days, yeah.
So the names of the authors of all the schlock pieces don't correspond with anyone living in the town.
Correct. The reports that are coming in, from this person, nobody in this town has
could be people using pseudonyms or one person coming up with all of it and trying to make a media circus.
If I wasn't clear before, I did catch a TV program when we were at the hospital where a woman claiming to be Beulah Gary called in to say it was all very true, all of these UFO sightings and stuff, and she was basically the butt of a bunch of jokes. But I think we have a case of somebody who wants to be famous and on Jerry Springer.
Is there a phone book?
Yeah.
We can look her up.
Hotels all have phone books.
Yeah. So is Beulah Gary in the phone book for this area?
Not at all.
Okay.
And this is like the phone books, especially for small communities, they'll cover a larger area, multiple communities. You find no Beulah Gary.
Right. For the county.
Mm-hmm.
And is Beulah claiming in these articles that she's from Grover's? No.
She was claiming that she saw stuff in Groversville. Was what she was claiming as a call-in to a TV program.
Is it just me, or does it sound like there's someone else trying to spread misinformation and it's not us?
Maybe for the same reasons that we would do it.
But who would
to cover up?
Who's out there rivaling us in this field?
Is there a group of 5 people from out of town running around with
I mean, they'd
similar lettered names?
Conspicuous. Do they look like us?
These UFO groups say probably feed bad information to each other, don't they?
Okay.
Just another Delta Green.
I mean, we've got UFO spotting groups. They might lay false breadcrumb trails to lead other groups astray.
Yeah, I mean this is cowboy era, so there could
it's possible
probably be another cell working, and we wouldn't know.
It just seems like too much is coming out of here all at the same time, and with the Billy Ray incident, this can't not be.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a note of all the names, the fake names, arguably. And can I get an address for Corey Johnson's family?
Sure. It's in the middle of town.
Yep. All right. Tack that onto the to-do list. About how long does that take?
Oh, it takes several hours. It's late into the night by the time you finish.
That's my 4-hour allotment.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you all tuck in for the evening.
Yeah, phone the wife and then get to bed, I guess.
Agent Orwell, will you please make me a sanity check?
Yes, I've got to do that, haven't I? Let's see what sanity points. I roll 45, so I'm okay. I roll under.
All right. So you sleep well.
I actually get a good night's sleep. Excellent.
Mhm. You actually get a good night's sleep. And that is where we will stop the scenario for today.
Crazy. Our players included Simon Ward, John Hicks, Dexter Yoakum, Brian Daly, and myself with Holly Buto as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the Delta Green universe and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.